Hey guys, this is Gundam Freedom, and today I'll be doing a review of the 1144 high grade Tallgeese tree. So out of the box, the Tallgeese tree comes all molded in white, including the polycaps. So the other color apps that you need, you have to paint them by yourself. Like all of the blue parts, you need to paint them blue, like the backpack, the waist area, the back skirt, the cockpit hatch, the shield, the vents on the chest, the head, as well as the yellow trifin, the red details on the shield, and the main gun. You need to paint all of those. But they gave you some stickers for the kit. It comes with the gold trifin stickers, and then blue for the vents on the head as well as on the mohawk, blue on the cockpit hatch as well as on the chest vents, and some blue and red stickers for the shield. But they are not sufficient enough because yeah, the thruster pads needs to be blue, but they didn't give you blue stickers for them as well as on the waist area. As for other details, I changed the feet into the Leo feet because they look much better, as well as on the crotch piece, the main thruster on the crotch, I also changed into the high grade Leo thruster. And I also rearranged the thruster pods. Originally, they were connected on the shoulder armor, but now I relocated them into the back of the chest, like what I did on my Tallgeese 1 and 2. First of the accessories is the shield. So it comes all molded in white. So you need to paint the main body here blue, as well as on the top here blue and red. And they gave you stickers for them, but they're not enough for the whole shield, so I just repainted them. But I used the red stickers here on the vents on the top here on and the jewel piece here on the middle. And it's just a normal shield. You can attach it on the shoulder via a connector piece, just like so, and it can attach on a peg on the left shoulder via a polycap here, just like so. And you can display it with the shield on the shoulder, or you can just remove the main connector by itself and just have the Tallgeese hold the shield by its hand via a handle here, just like so. And that is the shield. Next up is the whip. This is a carryover whip from the Epion, but unlike the 1144 version of the Epion, this whip is stationary. It doesn't have any moving parts, and it's very thin, as you can see here. It's also molded all in white, so you have to paint the blue details here, the circular details. And to attach it onto the shield, there's a peg here and a polycap inside the shield, which you need to remove the stored version of the whip to attach the tail whip here on the shield. Next up is the beam saber. This is the same beam saber as the Tallgeese 1 and 2. It's all molded in white, so you have to paint the beam effect here pink. And it's a square beam saber, so it can be held normally via the polycap hands, which the only kit only has the normal polycap hands, like the old no grades, unlike the other Endless Waltz kits, which have 3 pairs of different hands. And it's also molded in white to accommodate the whole body, which is all white. So yeah. And then the last accessory is the Mega Particle Cannon. It's all molded in white as well, and you have to paint the canister here blue and the whole body black. And then I also painted the hoses here gray or lighter gray. And it originally connects via a polycap here, but if you connect it directly on that polycap, it's very limited in terms of mobility because the part here is clashing with the shoulder. That's why when it's connected, it's only meant to go like that. But what I did is I attached another connector piece here on the polycap, which attaches onto the shoulder connector here, so that it's out enough from the shoulder, which lets it go down further. But if you don't have this connector piece, the beam cannon is aligned to just go like so, and it doesn't have any moving parts. The front pieces here are supposed to be longer, but what I did is I chopped out the extended parts here so that it can be stored normally, because it's very long. I have the normal version here, which I didn't cut out. So it's a very long gun, and if you display it together with the gun, it's clashing with the display area, and you cannot display it properly. So I decided to just cut the ends here and make it look like it's in the stored position. The neck is on a single ball joint, so the head can go up about that far, down that far, side to side, not much, and also rotate all the way around. For the arm, it's on a peg from the body, and which lets the arm move up about that far because it hits the thruster pods here on the back. And the shoulder armor is separate from the shoulder joint. There's no bicep swivel, but there's a single polycap here, single jointed polycap, which lets the arm bend about that far and also rotate. And then there's a polycap on the hand, which lets it rotate and wiggle around. For the waist, it has a ball joint here on the middle piece, which lets the torso go forward about that far, back that far, side to side a little bit, and also rotate a little bit on the same ball joint. And then there's another peg here on the lower area, or the lower chest area, which lets it rotate about that far until it hits the back skirt here. As for the waist, there's no front skirt movement because they're very small, but the hips are on ball joints, so the legs can go up about that far, go back that far, out about that far until the side skirt here hits the waist area here, and there's a little bit of forward and back from the ball joint. Then the knees are double jointed, but they can only bend about that far because of the shape of the leg here. And then the ankles are on a ball joint, so they can go up about that far, go down about that far, and then side to side a little bit and rotate a little bit as well. And it's a loose ball joint here on the ankles. For the thruster pods, they are on a ball joint here, which lets it go up about that far and also in and out. There's a rotation on the ball joint as well, and then there's a hinge here which lets it move in and out. And then the thruster pod itself can open up on this side and on this side to reveal two thrusters on each side. So here is the Tallgeese 3 next to the Tallgeese 2 and the Tallgeese 1, and as you can see, the main difference between the three of them, aside from the color scheme, are the heads. All of them have different heads. And then the shoulder armor, the Tallgeese 1 and 2 have the same design shoulder armor, but they added another shoulder piece for the Tallgeese 3 here. And then the weapons are the same for both the 1 and 2, while the 3 has a different shield and beam cannon. But overall, the whole body is the same, and the articulation is almost the same as all of them. So yeah, overall this is a okay kit despite its age. Out of all of the high grade or the 1144 wing line, the old ones, the Tallgeese 3 has the best articulation in terms of the torso because of the added ball joint on the mid torso. That's why I used the same mold for my Tallgeese 1 and Tallgeese 2 because of the added articulation on the torso. As for the other parts, they are a bit limited, or especially on the knees because of the design of the Tallgeese. And changing some of its parts to make it look like a modern version of the high grade of the Tallgeese is easier because the use of the ball joint polycaps on the feet for the Leo is a simple modification that you can do for the Tallgeese. That's why I was able to make the or use the Leo feet for the Tallgeeses that I have, as well as the thrusters on the waist area. And my only problem with the Tallgeese is that the thruster pods were originally on the shoulders, which gives the shoulders a bit of a problem in terms of articulation because the thruster pods are always getting on the way when it comes to posing them. So that's why I decided to relocate all of the thruster pods of all of my Tallgeeses into the back so that they can be displayed much better, and also that so that the thruster pods would look okay when it's just standing there, because when it's still on the shoulder, when it's just standing, it's the thruster pads are in an angle, so they're not pointing straight down, unlike when I modified them. So they can still look good while just standing, because again, these kits were very limited in terms of articulation, so they look much better when while they're just standing than when they are being posed. So yeah. So that's it for this review. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.